Thank you, Chris, and good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully, everyone got their lunch and coffee, and you're not going to sleep on me. Actually, I did find out 5 minutes ago they tried to find 10 more people before they landed on me, so you're stuck with me. So hopefully, you got your coffees fixed. So I'm here to talk about reshaping business with AI. So there are three things I'm going to discuss. One, what have we been doing for the last 12 months since we came here last time? Last year, it was Chief AI Officer for TELUS who came, and he discussed a bunch of use cases, a lot of the things that we have been working on. So I'm just going to pick it up from there and share with you a bit of the progress since we've done that. Second, I'm going to be very candid with you and share what did not work for us. We've been on this journey for about 10 years. And there are certain things that we realized the hard way that they don't work for us. So, I will share that with you. On the other side, I will share some of the things that did work for us, and it's brought to where we are today. So we'll get into that. Before that, I want to just share with you what we do at TELUS as well, right? So obviously, we started off with a telco traditionally in Canada. So obviously, you may have heard of different products that we have. So for consumers and business and enterprises. So we have mobility, home solutions, home security, internet, home phone, all kinds of stuff that traditional telco has. And for the businesses, we have mobility, IoT, managed services, data center solutions, and all that kind of stuff. What we've also done is have three other companies that we've built over the last 10, 15 years. So that's TELUS Health, Digital, and Agriculture. That's enhancing the lives of Canadians and global citizens around the world. So what TELUS Health does, it's on a mission to becoming the most trusted well-being company around the world by enhancing efficiencies across the agriculture sector and championing well-being of societies and workplaces. It does so with a collaborative and innovative combination of EMRs, which is electronic health records, collaborative health records, patient health records, so that individuals and governments and healthcare providers can do their job in the best possible way. TELUS Digital, it's a global company. It's a brand behind the brand that offers digital solutions, cloud solutions, automation, AI consulting, and all that stuff for global brands that you may know, so like Google and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, right? So we are the brand behind them. So we help them enhance their customer and employee experiences. Last but not least, TELUS Agriculture is creating value by creating efficiencies across three sectors. One is agriculture, the other one is consumer goods, and then the third one is animal agriculture, which you may not know, right? So we've evolved from a traditional telco to a techco, and we are using the power of leading networks and technology to drive value across our clients that are individuals and enterprises and governments and so on and so forth. Overall, we work across around 160 countries. So I just thought it'd be nice to share that because we're not just a telco. Yes, we are a dominant one in Canada, but we have other businesses too that provide a lot of value across Canadian and global markets. Second, I want to touch on responsible AI. So this is a simple statement: use responsibly. AI will augment human capabilities to deliver enhanced outcomes. It's not just a statement for us. It underpins everything that we do, whether we develop a solution, whether we make a business decision, or we have an outcome. It is everything. It is in everything that we do. We have a dedicated data and trust office at TELUS. We have a security office. So anything that we want to do, what data, when, why, how, until when, why not, everything is governed, and we work under this framework of responsible AI, and very proud of it. It has won many accolades around the world, and it's something that we embed in our thinking and in actions across the company and everything that we do. So we have a lot of our TELUS team members here, so you feel free to after the presentation talk to everyone and how much of a love-hate relationship this is, because You want to do a lot of things very quickly, but then you're like, no, not so fast, buddy, right? So that's that. Next, I want to share with you, I want to pick up the progress that we've made. So last year, Jaime Tatis, who's our Chief AI Officer, he came and he talked about the 3 use cases on the right. Yes, also you're right. IT Support Copilot, the Gen AI Customer Support Tool, and Field Technician. So what are they? Team members like myself, we have extensive, we have about 100,000 team members. So we used to call our IT support team and ask them all these questions. Hey, I forgot my password. Or they're like, yeah, not again, right? So we were just waiting there on the call, wasting our time and obviously money for the company. So we developed this solution called IT Support Copilot. It actually won an award between the last time and today from IDC Canada of one of the most revolutionary solutions that we did or that we made that takes now over 265,000 chats, obviously reducing call center burden and reducing our costs. So over half of the calls that used to go in now don't have to go in. Now I can just keep doing my work on my laptop and I can just resolve my thing without ever having to call in and wait in the queue for 25 minutes on a good day. Gen AI customer support tool. So this is the first customer-facing Gen AI-based tool that we made. And we did this deliberately. We could have launched it last year, but we wanted to really perfect the knowledge and the risks and everything that came with Gen AI that was launched with ChatGPT in November 2022. So, and this one also won the first tool by a Canadian company to win a Privacy by Design award. Right now, until now, it has taken 350,000 chats from our customers directly. And obviously, as we learn more and more about these questions and things that come to us, we keep refining these. It's not a one and done deal. It's, you launch a solution, you keep refining and fine tuning the models, and it becomes more and more and more accurate. So, 260% up year on year from last time when we came last June to now. Last but not least, Jaime also talked about field technician AI tools. So we have developed a collection of tools that our technicians use, whether they're going to the customer premises or they're helping build network in the field, right? Because we need to do both. We have cell sites, we have customer calls and everything. These tools readily provide information to our field technicians to do exactly what they need to do when they get to a customer premise, leading to a very standardized way of delivering solutions, delivering service, and making customers happy. Obviously, it also helps in network build and enhancements that we need to do across our network. So far, we have seen 75% adoption in our field technicians, which is up 700%. And it's not that they weren't taking it before and we're like, no, go use it, go use it. No, that's not how it works. It's, do they see the value in doing all these things? And if they don't, then you have to go back and fix those solutions. And then, it's a very gradual process. And I'll talk about the importance of adoption. So those 3 use cases have advanced significantly from the last time that we came here till now. When we look at the overall picture, our internal Gen AI tool, we call it Fuel iX, and you can go look it up, fuelix.ai. It's an in-house, enterprise-grade, secure Gen AI solution, vendor-agnostic. It has access to over 50, 60 LLMs, so you can use whichever one you like. Over 57,000 people in TELUS are using it. I use it every day, whether it's to help me write an email or synthesize a document or just double-check some things. I even use it for translation, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then using this Copilot or using this Fuel iX platform, our team members have built 4,000 Copilots just to enhance their daily work, whether it's analysis, whether it's taking meeting notes, whether it's to do any specific things they want to do within their day-to-day activities, right? So obviously a lot of work that happens with this Fuel iX Copilot or the platform. And in the last 3 years, we have generated close to 300 million in benefits for the company, which is a lot, right? Whether it's through productivity gains or cost avoidance and all that kind of stuff, right? So a lot of stuff has happened, and I'm sure by the time we come next year, this will look very different. So I want to talk about two different use cases that we've also developed only in the last year that, that is driving a lot of the benefits. One is proactively mitigating fraud of transactions that happen across our channels. So we started with in-store, right? And a person comes in, they're like, I'd like to buy the most expensive iPhone, and I'd like to buy 3 of them. We're like, okay, well, that's good, right? Because you want to make your sales. But then obviously in the back end, we have an AI solution that is monitoring this kind of activity using number of variables that we know need to be looked at. So this includes, for example, credit scores, past address history, or any past delinquencies. These are just 3, right? Like, but there could be a number of these, any kind of behavior and things such. These potential fraudulent transactions are then flagged and then reviewed by a human in the loop before they can be saying, okay, this is fraudulent or not, right? So what we've been able to do over a very short amount of time, we've been able to reduce drastically these false positives you used to have, and we have actually mitigated over 1,000 transactions, leading to a lot of benefits. So this was obviously in store first, but now we've started scaling, or we've scaled across most of the channels, and now we are able to, collect and connect them to be able to drive over 7 million in annual benefits. The other the use case I want to talk about is translation. So obviously, TELUS being a proud Canadian company with English and French language requirements for all the customers. So any kind of communications or anything that goes even to team members or to customers has to be done in 2 languages in a manner that is high quality, and it abides by all the rules and terminology and everything, not just of the English language, not just of Canada, but also of TELUS. So what we were able to do, we developed a translations co-pilot that translates from any language to English, but obviously we put a lot of emphasis on English and French, and it's fine-tuned on a regular basis on TELUS terminology, grammar, all kinds of things before it can go out. And we obviously have human in the loop to do any kind of final checks before it goes out to our customers. Internally, we're like, it's okay. We have this culture of, forgive me, I made a mistake. I was just trying something new. So all internal communications goes through these co-pilots, and it saves millions of dollars. And it's much faster. Before, it was a pain to send it across, and then they come back with questions, and then you send it back, and then they come back with questions, and then in the end, you get your translation done. With this one, it's like a click of a button. Takes a few minutes. We have a couple of French-speaking team members who review it. We're good to go. 5,000 people already are using it, and we are counting 5 million words and up, English and French, right? So again, leaving $2 million in benefits. So I promise I'll talk to you about what did not or does not work, or at least it didn't work for us in TELUS. One thing, because we've been on this journey for about 10 years. And sometimes we started off very humbly from very simple data analytics, plain vanilla stuff, and we still do it. We don't need to force fit AI everywhere. But over time, when the use cases and everything grew, there were a lot of pockets where AI deployment was happening across different businesses. TELUS is a very big company. We've got consumer solutions, business solutions, all these other subsidiaries that you have, and it's a pretty large organization with thousands and thousands of team members. Having everyone do their own AI, it's almost like pulling a car from all different directions and hoping it to cross the bridge. I mean, you could get there, but it will take much longer. It will be less efficient and whatnot, right? So it did not work for us because we were going in different directions, following different protocols, different technologies, different operation models, so it wasn't working. So over time, what we've done is we've brought the AI deployment and building of solutions into one team, which is now called the Chief AI Office. And it works centrally within the CIO, and then works across all different subsidiaries and business units. It's like a hub and spoke model. So at least, the wheel is turning and going in the right direction versus everyone's trying to pull on it. What also didn't work for us is you can have the centralized model, but if you're working with a business unit, in a small company, this is not a problem. But in a company like TELUS, where we have so many different teams and so on, to develop a solution and adopt a solution and to implement it to drive value are three different things. Developing the solution is the easiest part. What we were having struggles with is driving adoption within whichever team had to do to deliver value to the end stakeholder, whether it's customers or internal or whatnot, right? And it's almost like pushing a car up the hill. You could keep doing it, and it will take you, depending how strong you are. But at some point, when you stop pushing, it'll start rolling back. It happened a lot. So what we did, then we said, no, this doesn't work. So anyone who wants to do any AI or Gen AI-based solution that helps you drive A, B, and C benefits within your business unit, you got to have a dedicated champion on your side too. It can't be the solution makers or the developers. They develop it, and now it becomes their problem that it's not being adopted, right? So I think having that dedicated champion within the business unit or the team who was going to be the recipient of the benefits, it needs to happen. Otherwise, this will fail. At least it did for us. The last but not least, inability. If we are not ready to pivot, this is a big problem. A lot of the times we realize, or we observed, that you go through a lot of the things, you spent 3 months in it, and then you're emotionally vested in it, you put in a lot of time in developing these solutions, and then all of a sudden, either the market has changed or something else has happened, and the nature of the scope has changed, or our understanding has changed. If we are not ready to pivot and go back to the board to do something, it's not going to work. Because even with any solution, as we are developing these solutions over time, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, we're always tuning it to the changing characteristics and the environment. And if we can't do that, or if we're not consciously doing that, we're not going to go anywhere. So I think those three things, it didn't work for TELUS. Maybe they're worth for everyone who's looking at doing this, but these were some of the real learnings that we had in our journey. So what did we get right in our journey? And I think this is really what has helped us get as fast as we can, as fast as we have, and it has allowed us to develop a lot of speed into execution, foundational infrastructure, garbage in, garbage out. If you have a lot of data in different places, on-prem or different places, you could do whatever you want. It's not going to drive scale, right? So we have been on the journey of modernizing our data stack for the last 7 years. We partnered with Google. We've been working and moving our data to the cloud from on-prem into a central data hub, which anyone can then go and plug. It's backed by metadata, so everyone knows what data it is, where it's coming from, where the source system is, where the lineage of the data. And this step is critical to doing or applying data insights and AI at scale. You could do it one-off use cases here and there, but you're not going to get the scale that you need. Second, it's all parallel. The alignment and buy-in from our leadership was absolutely critical. I remember in 2022, in November, when we had ChatGPT launch, right in February of the following year, 2023, all our senior leadership went to, we call it Senior Leadership Forum in one of the major business schools in the US. Every year they go to a different one. And they came back with a very, very aligned message on what is it that we need to do. We had two choices. One, we could have just, taken the risk and watched the silent adoption of Gen AI happen, and we wouldn't know where that was going, and there was no way to control it. Or we just leaned in and we said, okay, no, we're going to make this the priority, and then we developed the solution, which is Fuel iX now, but it used to be called Unicorn before. It was an internal solution. It was very secure, safe. It was fire and forget. It wasn't storing any customer data. It wasn't storing, or it wasn't being trained on any of the data that ChatGPT was using or OpenAI was using. So we created this sandbox, obviously underpinned by responsible AI, that helped commercialize a lot of the things. So that leadership forums that we have on a regular basis, and sometimes it's a pain. Every month we have something going on, right? Like every month we meet with certain forum, then every 3 months we meet with the CEO, who leads our AI board, and every 6 months we go to the board of directors of TELUS to let them know of a lot of things. So there's a lot of buy-in and sponsorship of this AI program at TELUS, which really helps us drive a lot of the value and helps us in addressing a lot of the roadblocks. Embedded AI squads, what does this mean? We learned that we were working with different stakeholders and different business units with the short tiger teams, with people coming from different backgrounds. So we now scale this. So now we have multidisciplinary squads targeting each use case or any kind of business unit that needs to drive value with data insights and AI. So for example, in our consumer solutions, we have a couple of squads. In business solutions, we have one. In health, we have one. So whoever needs it, we set up a squad, and it includes data scientists, software developers, responsible AI person, a VP champion, and a director champion. So these squads work on a day in and day out basis to understand the problems or areas and scope that we have, and then develop solutions that need to scale. Adoption is a key one that I mentioned, right? So we spend a lot of time, my team spends a lot of time in upskilling programs, training programs, communities of practices. We just recently started an award program to be able to surface all these ideas from the ground up that we need, because all the good ideas come from the team members that are actually doing the work and are delivering value and working with the customers, right? So we need to surface those ideas, right? So upskilling and adoption is absolutely critical on that one. Last but not least, identifying frameworks for value creation. If you can't show value, obviously you're not going to go too far, right? So all these things that we do across foundations, alignment, squads, we are really driven by how much value we are generating. This could be qualitative, this could be quantitative. Is it better decisions? Is it faster decisions? Is it customer value? Is it dollar value? Is it cost savings? Is it revenue improvement? Is it churn reduction? All kinds of things, right? It's not one size fit all. So I think that is really key. So between these five, I think this has been our strategic approach that drives alignment, engagement, and innovation. I want to leave you with just those few thoughts here that also help in measuring the effectiveness of AI. One is, and I don't think I'm the first one to say this, at TELUS, we don't have an AI strategy. We have a business strategy, and we have AI that enables the business strategy. If we don't know where we are going as a business, you can do whatever you want with AI. It's like force-fitting something into where it doesn't belong, right? So a good AI strategy always follows the business strategy, not the other way around. So if we don't have a good business strategy, good luck scaling anything. AI is an innovation multiplier. So what do I mean by this? Everyone thinks AI, we're going to cut costs, cut people, all this kind of stuff. No, it doesn't work. It's never going to work. What we feel is that with AI, with the right and responsible use of data insights and AI, we can do better things. We can be competitive, more competitive. We can deliver more innovation. We can be driving more value for the customers. We can be driving more value for the business and society, right? So it needs to be inherent as part of what we do, and to drive social and business outcomes that then creates that virtuous cycle to be able to do that. It's not just about dollars. It's about all these things that I mentioned. Faster decisions, customer satisfaction, are customers happy? Are we getting less complaints? All this kind of stuff. Last but not least, cross-functional alignment, right? So yeah, we can do all these things with the stakeholders and the development team, but all the other folks need to be on the table as well. So from finance, they need to be aligned with how you're measuring value. So what do they do with it then? How does it translate into the final financial statements and numbers? They need to be on the table so that their alignment can also happen. From a technology and network perspective, right? So I think having a strong business strategy, leveraging AI to drive important social and business outcomes, not just looking at the numbers, and having everyone at the table does a lot of good things. And at least in the case of our company, we have been able to leverage those to be able to develop very strong framework to measure the effectiveness and ROI of AI. And that's all I had. We have a lot of folks here. If you have any tough questions for me that I can't answer, I'm sure some of my colleagues here can. And we have a few more sessions happening the day after. But we have a few minutes. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thanks so much. Everybody put your hands together again for a presenter. Let's go. Anurag, thank you. And we've got our mic runner here. So if you have a question, please just put your hand up and they will bring the mic over to you to ask that question.
Excellent presentation. My name is Mark Donaldson. Dr. Roger Martin said, strategy over everything. You explained that at TELUS you have a business strategy, but not an AI strategy. Could you sort of elaborate why you chose that path?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought Roger Martin because he was my dean when I did my MBA, which tells me how old I am, but that's a different story. But he was the dean of my school when I was doing my MBA. But yeah, so we have a business strategy. We know what we want to do with business, which is to drive value for our customers, for our stakeholders, for our society, for our environment and everything. That does not replace anything. AI is just, we use AI as a technology, right? So it's how do you leverage data, insights, networks, platforms, Gen AI, all kinds of things. How do you enable the real strategy of the business? Having an AI strategy without a business strategy is like, it's like, going on a really fast car, but we have no way to know which way we are going, right? So at least the business strategy has a compass. We need to go in this direction at this speed, and then from there we need to take a right and whatnot, and then we leverage AI and insights and data to guide us. How do we get there faster? How do we get there in a most efficient manner? How do we get there with the least kind of damage to our environment? So all those things are informed by or are supported by AI, not the other way around.